What's up everybody, Brad here with the Money Dad channel. In this video I want to talk about Aphria, stock ticker APHA, and that's because there is a pattern shaping up on this chart that looks really bullish for this stock going forward. I mean, really good. So this is one I haven't seen in a while. We've kind of been in a lull in the stock market for some time now, a couple of months. We haven't really seen these kinds of patterns setting up on very many of the stocks that I talk about on this channel for a while now. And, I found this one on StockTwits.com this morning. Actually, you guys can feel free to go follow me over on StockTwits if you want. My name is Money Dad Brad over there. And I was looking at pot stocks, and I just saw someone point out this pattern on this chart. And I agreed with it. I think this chart looks really good. I think it is poised for a breakout, and there are a lot of gains to be had here. And let me show you why. If you've been a long-term follower or subscriber of this channel, then you probably already see the pattern that I'm about to talk about, and that is a bull pennant or a bull flag. But I also want to talk about the volume here because it's also playing the part, and I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos, that you really want to see the volume playing the part as well. And then there is a risk to playing this stock trade that I'm going to talk about as well. So I'm going to be waiting to enter this trade. Maybe if you're a long-term subscriber, you can already see on the screen what that risk is. But let's jump into it. Again, this is a pot stock. Feel free, go over to Aphria.ca. It's a Canadian pot stock. If you want to learn more about the company and what they do. I won't get too much into the company and the fundamentals. I'm just going to stick to the chart today in this video. But all of that information is out there if you want to look that up yourself. So let's get into the stock chart because that's what we're here for, right? This pattern. So you can see leading up to this pattern right here, we've had some nice waves, right? We have this nice big bullish wave and then a consolidation pattern. Nice big bullish wave, and then a consolidation pattern. And then right here is when the volume started to play the part. Back here it didn't so much. We had a little bit of volume and then a tail off, but it wasn't really playing its part until recently. And what I mean by that is right here you have this big bull run, and down here you have volume increase during the bull run. And then as it consolidates, the volume tapers off as well. That's what you want to see. That's a bullish sign. So right here you have this next bull wave, this next bull run from breaking out of this consolidation phase right here. You break out, you head up this bull run, and your volume increases as well, right? That's what you want to see. And now we're consolidating and volume is tapering off. That's what you want to see. We're kind of it's kind of like a snake coiling up for its next attack, right? It's just kind of preparing. So all this volume has been tapering off. It's preparing for a next big move. And that should be to the upside because this pattern right here, this bull pennant, is what's called a continuation pattern. That means it continues whatever was the trend prior to this pattern forming. Right, and the trend prior to this pattern was a bull trend, right? We're in a bull trend here. And now we have our wedge or bull pennant, right? We have what looks like a flagpole right here and a pennant right here, right? And I know that's all super, super ugly, but I'm just trying to give you a generalization of what it is. And we'll make it a little bit more pretty here in a moment. So we have our wedge, excuse me, and we're looking for a breakout to the upside because it's a continuation pattern, like I was just saying, right? That doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen, right? This is the stock market. Nothing is 100%, but we're playing with probabilities here, and it's more probable that we're going to break to the upside because a bull pennant has a tendency, based on historical data, has a tendency to continue whatever was happening before, right? So we think we're going to head to the upside. So How much are we going to head to the upside? When are we going to head to the upside? Well, we can draw some lines, take a look at that, and try to make our best guess. So I'm not going to trace from the top of this bull run because it was one candlestick, so it looks like an outlier. Just like I'm not going to include this one candlestick down here because it looks like an outlier, and you'll see why. The pattern just looks a lot more, I don't know, it looks more like a just more like a bull pennant, more like a wedge if you don't include this candle right here or this this tail right here, right? Sometimes you got to kind of try to find these things in these charts. It's not always going to be perfect. I don't try to exclude too much data. If there's going to be multiple candlesticks outside of these lines, then I will not consider it a pattern, right? I'll say, you know what, I'm trying to make something out of nothing. There's too much going on here. It's just not going to work. But if it's one tail underneath the line, that's okay. If it's one candlestick above this line, that's okay. I'm not terribly worried about that. So when you exclude these two, you can see how we now have a nice support line underneath here, met by at least 3 touch points, coming up on 4 touch points, even 5 if you want to call this 2 different ones. And then our overhead resistance, it's only 2 touch points so far, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to come up and make another wave right here and make a 3rd touch point, retrace, come back, hit the support, and then take off. So still working on a 3rd touch point on the overhead resistance, but that's not a bad thing. We're not terribly worried about the resistance too much. The support is really what matters. We want that support underneath because we don't want to fall through, right? We don't want to lose money on this trade. So support, I would say, is a little more important than resistance here. We're trying to break through that resistance. So we want soft resistance. We want solid, hard support and soft resistance. So this is actually a good look. So what kind of upside are we looking at here? Where are we going to break out? Let's take a closer look and try to get the answer to that. All right, so I'm not going to make a huge flagpole on this one because we already had a big consolidation right here. So I'm actually only going to use the flagpole starting right here at the end of this consolidation and going up to where we start our wedge, right? So it's a pretty small flagpole, so it's not going to be a massive price target on this one. It's going to be pretty conservative, but that's also safe, right? Conservative is safe. We can get out with profits before we start to see those profits kind of drain away out of our account as the stock goes back down, if something like that were to happen, right? So pretty small flagpole on this one, so it's going to be a smaller price target, but I do think it's still going to be significant, like pretty good. So you can see the price action is right here, right now. This is our daily candlestick today, so we're near the bottom of this wedge. So just watch out for that, guys. If we break below this, then that's going to invalidate this trade pattern. I would not enter a position. I would not be entering a position right now anyway. And all that said, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my own opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is, I may make a trade based on this information, but I'm not advising you guys to do that. Please do your own research, your own due diligence. Make sure you are responsible for your own money, your own trades out there. Okay, guys? So all that said, I would not be entering a position down here. I am not entering a position on this right now. I am waiting to bounce off of this support line right here, head to the upside, and break through this resistance. Once we break through this blue line, that is my confirmation to enter a trade. That's the entry point. Okay, so this line is descending, so it's not going to be a specific number that I'm looking for. I'm looking at this chart, maybe once a day, or once every 2 days, or twice a day, something like that. And I'm just waiting to see how this thing is doing once it breaks above this line. Again, this line is descending, so it's going to be a different price every day. If we close above this line, then that is going to be my signal to say, hey, let's go ahead and let's get into this trade and target our upside target. Okay. If we break below this bottom blue line, then that is bad. We've broken below support. The pattern is broken, and I don't want to be in this trade. Okay. All right, all of that aside, let's get to what everybody is here for. What is the price target? I do feel like I have to mention all of those things before, though, guys, because I do see, some people are entering these trades before they set up, maybe to get ahead of things, and then they don't completely set up, and then they lose a lot of money. So I do want to just make sure, like, hey, letting you guys know this is how this thing works. You have to wait until we get above this breakout zone and enter our entry point zone. That's just how it works. That's how you mitigate risk, or that's one way to mitigate risk. And I'll have a whole nother separate video I've got planned for all the different ways to mitigate risk. Okay, so let's get to that price target. So we take our flagpole, copy it, paste it. Right now we have an exact copy of this flagpole, and we're going to start it wherever we think our new bull run is going to start. So do we think we're putting in our lows right here as we touch this support, and we're going to head up and break through right here and head off to the moon? If we think that, then that's where we start our new flagpole. So we take this flagpole, we put it right there, and that gives us our price target of $31.21. How crazy is that, right? And I said that this wasn't going to be a super high price target, but here we are. Aphria is trading at $17.61, and I now have a price target of $31.21. I mean, that is a pretty significant, right, guys? That's a lot of upside, and that approaches the all-time high. The all-time high here is $32.29 right here. Maybe not all-time high, but at least the very the high over the very long term, right? I'm not going to go all the way back on this chart, like the entire history. Well, it looks like the history starts in 2016 or 2015, so maybe it is the all-time high. Yeah, I guess we can call it the all-time high. So we'll be approaching the all-time high with this price target of $31.21. Not quite at the all-time high of $32.29 up here, but pretty dang close. And I would have to think, if we get there, there's going to be a lot of talk of all-time highs, right? Are we going to break through it and keep heading up, or are we going to hit it? It's going to be a double top and then bounce down from there, right? And this would look, I mean, if we do head straight there from here, that would look like a really well played out double top pattern. I mean, you come up, boom, hit that, hit some waves in between, come up, hit it again, and then bounce down. That would look like a perfect double top setup to me. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, this is looking like a bullish setup. I'm not going to enter this trade until we break above this blue line right here. So, again, let's cross that double top bridge when we get there, because that would be a bearish setup in the future. But who knows? Maybe we just blow right through that all-time high from back in February, and then that double top thing just doesn't even exist anymore. So we will keep revisiting this chart to see what is going on here. If I have any significant updates, like we approach this breakout zone, or we do enter that breakout zone, I will make another video, let you guys know, hey, it's time to get in, or I'm getting in at least. And if you want these real-time updates, please consider joining the channel with a membership, and you will get YouTube community posts with my buys and sells, the trades that I'm making in near real time. You can see what I'm doing. Okay, guys, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the pot industry. This is a Canadian pot stock. Let me know how you feel. The difference between American pot stocks and Canadian pot stocks, things like that. So I've been trying to kind of form my opinion on how Canadian pot stocks are going to do over the next 4 years, as I believe in the United States, we're inching closer and closer to federal legalization. How do Canadian pot stocks play into that? Is that bullish for Canadian pot stocks or bearish? I'm still formulating my personal opinion on that, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, because I'd be interested in having that conversation, or at least hearing your thoughts. All right, guys, that's all I got. I'll see you down in the comments below and in the next video. Thanks.